Prologue. Boy meets world karma. Corey can't leave his home and the morality of his home without getting into some kind of big trouble and some kind of higher power, say maybe Mr. Feeney, finding out about it and delivering the consequences. The story, first of all, to quote Busta Rhymes, circa 1997, where my B words is at, where the F word, my B words is at. I'm white, and I'm unrhythmic, not very cool. Maybe it's just that I'm a huge nerd, but I've never been much of a fighter or an athlete. I kind of grew up with the body of a Eastern European street orphan. Like you can see my ribs, but I kind of have the hunger stomach going on. And I don't know why or when it happened, but sometime in my adolescence, I got like really, really into gangster rap. Like so into it, I thought I knew what DMX meant when he said, "That's how Rough Riders roll." But I mean, I grew up in a pretty strict Catholic home, which meant that I could eat the marshmallows and Lucky Charms if I was willing to own up to it later in confession. And this never happened, but I'm going to use this as a metaphor. Do you guys know The Lion King? Are you familiar with when Mufasa brings Simba up on the Pride Rock? And he says, all that the light touches is yours. And Simba says, what is that dark place over there? And Mufasa says, you must never go there. My mom kind of did that with me with the Roosevelt Boulevard. And I said, and again, this never happened, but it's a metaphor. I said, Mom, what's that dark place over there? And she said, that's the Roosevelt Mall. You must never go there. But in my mind, like I said something like, whatever, Mom, that's how Rough Riders roll. And one night I left my home, left the morality of my home, and went there with my friends. And when we got there, we saw this guy who was a couple years older than us, and he was looking for people walking by themselves, and he was punching them, waiting until they dropped to the ground, laughing with his friends, and then walking away. So cut to the end of the night. We're about to cut a corner in this strip mall that is the Roosevelt Mall. This guy and his friends cut a corner as well. And adrenaline starts coursing through our veins. And adrenaline will typically tell you to do one of two things, right? Fight or flight. My friends flew like hell. Adrenaline gave me a third option. I dropped down in the fetal position and began throwing whatever I could from my pockets up at this guy. So as he's kicking me with his steel-tip boots, and I'm thinking something along the lines of, this is probably not how Rough Riders roll, a car pulls up about 2 feet away from my head, and a guy jumps out, and he says, were you messing with my boy? And my voice is already often mistaken for a woman's by over-the-phone customer service reps, and it raises about 2 octaves, and I say, no, I'm sorry. And he punches me twice in the jaw, and I'm reeling. And I kind of stumble into Wendy's right there. And I say to myself, where my B words is at? Where the F word my B words is at? Epilogue. Though I wanted to be at home with a vice-filled Biggie track, my home was probably somewhere closer to a TGIF theme song, where the lesson is learned in time for snack and bed. Thank you.
All right, so Steve.